Chapter 13 of Yuddhanantara Parva. Krishna returns to Dwaraka. Try as he might, Yudhishthira was not able to forget the past. It was burning him day and night. When Dhritarashtra sent word to him through Sanjaya before the war, he had said that Yudhishthira, with his gentle nature, would repent for destroying his cousins for the rest of his life. He spoke the truth. The state of the king was causing them worry. Dhritarashtra, forgetting his own pain, tried to pacify Yudhishthira. Krishna too joined in the entreaties of the old king. Finally, it was possible to bring him back to a normal frame of mind. Yudhishthira took up the task of ruling of the kingdom with great sincerity, and he was acclaimed the ideal ruler. Everyone was happy under his rule. He won the heart of everyone with sweet and compassionate nature. Arjuna and Krishna spent their time in going back to the places where they used to walk together in the old days. They went to their beloved Indraprastha and spent several days there. It was pleasant to roam about the gardens and hall of the great Sabha. They talked of all the many things which had happened since they last walked there. It looked as though not many days had passed since they were there last. Actually, it was 15 years back that these two friends were there together. 15 years back, the forest by name Khandava was burnt by Agni. Maya was saved from the fire and he had offered to do them a favor. Krishna had suggested the building of the Maya Sabha. Then came Narada and his talk about the Rajasuya. Looking back in retrospect, they tried to pick out the important incidents, the several scenes which made up this tragic drama. Draupadi's appearance on the stage was actually the first act. The meeting between Krishna and the Pandavas was the second act. Narada's coming was the third act. The mind of Yudhishthira was upset by the fact that his father was not in the Sabha of Indra because he had not performed the Rajasuya. That was the beginning of all this pain. The killing of Shishupala was the next act. It was the fourth act in the tragic drama. The other acts followed in quick succession. The game of dice, with Shakuni in the leading role, was the fifth act, and the court scene was the sequel to it. It was the beginning of the end. The court scene where Draupadi was dragged to the court was the climax. The drama had reached the pinnacle of intensity when they all took their oaths. The rest was the catastrophe. The later acts were laden with retribution. The scene in Dwaraka when Duryodhana and Arjuna went to ask for the help of Krishna was the sixth act. It decided the fates of all of them. The moment when Arjuna chose Krishna as his charioteer. The war itself was the final act, the seventh. The 18 days of war, the death of the great Bhishma, Drona, Radeya and Abhimanyu were just scenes in that mighty seventh act. With the death of Shakuni, the drama was over. The tragic drama was ended. The death of Duryodhana was the final denouncement. The drama covered a period of several years. They had reached the stage when they could look back on it. They had travelled some distance of time and they could look back and review the years without emotion. Memory did wince when she took up some moments in her hands. But they were now secure from the gnawing pain that was in their hearts a few months back. Krishna said, Arjuna, the war is over. Your enemies have all been killed. Yudhishthira is the monarch of the Kuru kingdom. I had taken up my shoulders this burden. My task is over. My thoughts are turning towards Dwaraka now. I desire to see my parents. I dare not ask your brother for permission to go. You must first permit me to go, Arjuna. Then you can tell Yudhishthira about my wish to go home. If he is willing to let me go, I will leave for Dwaraka. If, however, he wishes me to stay on, I will. Yudhishthira's wishes mean more to me than my own. You are all able to help your brother to rule the kingdom. He has Vidura to counsel him. My purpose is served. I think it is time I go back home. Arjuna, please grant me permission to go. Arjuna shed tears of sorrow at the words of Krishna. So their great partnership was at the end. The inseparables, Partha and his Sarathi, where to go parted. His heart was aching for the days of the long ago to come back. Even if it meant reliving the war, he did not mind it. He wanted to recapture the thrill of those days when they would sit out to the battlefield, blowing their conches lustily. The 18 days of war were the most thrilling days in his lifetime. He and Krishna would not be parted even for a moment. They were always together, and now he heard Krishna saying, "My purpose is served." Arjuna remembered the day when his chariot was burned. Krishna had said that everything in the world was created for a purpose. Once that purpose was served, the world had no more need of it. But it was not so with Krishna. He was needed. Arjuna would be lost without him. He could not say that his work was done, that his purpose was over, the purpose for which he had been born. Arjuna wept tears of anguish and said, "My Lord, your purpose served. Please do not say that once more. I cannot bear it." Krishna laughed at him and said, "I did not mean to hurt you, Arjuna. I just meant the war when I said that. I know that you need me. More than that, I need you. I cannot live without you. Have you still not realized that you and I are part of each other? Half my soul is Arjuna." Krishna told him about the night before the death of Jayadratha. He told him about his conversation with Daruka and his deciding to fight it if it came to the worst. Arjuna was touched by the words of Krishna. They sat in silence for a while. They were so fond of each other. It was not necessary to talk about it. They wandered each into the mind of the other. After a long time, Arjuna agreed to allow Krishna to go back to Dwaraka on the condition that he would come back very soon. Krishna smiled and said, "Of course, I cannot stay away from you for long. I will come back soon." They returned to Hastinapura. These few days at Indraprastha were very happy days. Arjuna was happy they had gone to their old haunts. They went to the presence of Dhritarashtra and Yudhishthira. The night was spent happily. In the morning, Arjuna and Krishna went to the chambers of Yudhishthira. They spent some time together. Arjuna gently spoke about Krishna's desire to return to his Dwaraka. The very mention of it brought tears to the eyes of Yudhishthira. He composed himself and said, "Krishna, it is but right that you should wish to see your parents. I do not want to prevent you from going. But, Krishna, how can we live without you? You are part of me and I cannot think of letting you go. But I must allow it. I will send you on one condition. As in the days of old, when we were at Indraprastha, you must come to me whenever I think of you. When I wanted you, you have always known it and come to me. It must be so even now. Go, my child, go and see your father and your dear mother. They have not seen you for a long time. So much has happened since they saw you last." He embraced Krishna and gave him permission to go back to Dwaraka. Krishna's chariot, driven by Dharuka, was at the doorway of the palace. The leave taking was very tender. Satyaki was sobbing with emotion when he took leave of the Pandavas. They had gone through so much together. Bhima was standing there stupefied. He would be so lonely after the departure of Krishna and Satyaki, his friend. Krishna took leave of all of them. He prostrated before Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, Kunti, Vidura, Yudhishthira and Bhima. They blessed him. Draupadi bade him farewell. The chariot was waiting. With great unwillingness, Krishna ascended the chariot, followed by Satyaki. They all stood there watching the chariot until it disappeared from their sight. Wiping their eyes, they went into the palace. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.